everybody. This is Moments of Truth. I'm Andrew Marks, the founder and COO of Success Hacker. And today I have the pleasure of talking to Chris Nelson, Manager of Customer Success West with O'Reilly Media. Chris, thank you for joining us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
Absolutely, everybody. Like Andrew said, my name is Chris Nelson. I'm the manager of our Customer Success West team. I've got 5 other customer success managers on the West Coast, as well as in the Arizona area. What O'Reilly is, we're an online learning platform, technical content, non-technical content like soft skills, etc. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm happy to talk to you today.
Okay, Chris. So one of the topics that you wanted to talk about today is team collaboration and communication. There's a lot there. So
it's a very broad topic.
It is a very broad topic. So start unpacking it.
Sure. One thing that I've always been an advocate for is communication with your team. Again, these are the people that are working with customers. You're working with customers. So why not leverage what's already happening again to do your job better? We have many ways of communicating now. I mean, you could communicate on a call like this, or Slack, or a phone call, or through email, or whatever works best for you. But one thing that we do at O'Reilly that I feel works really well is we have a Slack channel. I'm sure many people use Slack, and we use it all day long, bouncing ideas off. Hey, I've got a customer that wants to do this. What can we do? Or today I had an EBR and they said this. What could I have improved? What could I have done differently? And I feel that the continuous collaboration and communication really strengthens a team. I actually surveyed my team recently, and I asked them, what's one thing that we do really well? And every single person says, we communicate extremely well. And I think that helps us. It helps our organization. It helps other groups within the organization as well, because we're always on the same page. We talk frequently about best practices and wins and losses, and and more importantly, what did you learn from those wins and losses? Specifically, what did you learn from the losses? And we typically have a meeting, and whether it be a 30-minute or 60-minute, and just talk about what's been going on with you, with your customers, what's been successful. And I've learned so much from other CSMs that I work with that I put into play. For example, we've talked about, ways to really hone that relationship with your customers and finding topics of interest. Like I said, and when we talked before about, why don't we, learn more about their family or their kids, or what they're into, or, what's going on. And it's really helped strengthen internal and external communication, is being able just to be open and clear. And the biggest part that I try and instill in everybody that I work with is, don't be scared to ask for help. And that's, I think, one of the most important parts of communication, is being able to say, I need help with this. This is something that, has anybody been in this situation before? And 9 times out of 10, someone will say, yeah, I had that happen to me last EBR, or last month when I talked to my customer, they said the same exact thing. And here's what I did. And so relying on your peers to help you get to what you want to do is I think, very, very valuable. And having those channels, whether it be Slack, or whether it be email, or a text message thread, or whatever it needs to be, use the knowledge that your people already have and apply what they know to what you're doing, and they will also apply what you know to what they're doing as well.
Yeah, that's great. It's a great suggestion. We coach our students this notion of the 15-minute rule. So the 15-minute rule is, if you don't know the answer to something, do some research, start looking for the answer. Don't spend more than 15 minutes doing it. You don't need to suffer. Go ask somebody. There's a problem if you get the answer and you don't retain it, and you keep having to ask people for the same answer. Then we got an issue. Slack is great. But when you share all this information, you get all these best practices. Do you have any tools that you use to capture all of that, so that when you bring new people on, you're sharing those best practices and those findings and those learnings from the field?
Yeah, so some of the things that we do is we use Google Drive a lot. So whether it be a very important slide deck that somebody's put together, or a really helpful slide deck, or a video, we store everything on an internal Google Drive and say, here's what we've put together. If you have somebody who's new, check this out. Go read through some of these, watch these videos. It's been very, very helpful. Another thing is what we also do is we just pair them up with another team member and say, hey, why don't you go sit with whoever and learn from them, watch them in practice, watch them in action. And you're going to learn so much more by doing that than you are just reading. I feel that when you actually see somebody who is doing an EBR or doing a kickoff call or doing an onboarding deck, you're going to learn so much more. I mean, specifically, if you can get in front of a person face to face, you're sitting right there with it as it happens. And for me personally, that's the way I learn best, is by doing it in a face-to-face meeting or getting my hands dirty. So those are a couple methods that we have. Other ones that we do is we use Slack, so we can star something. So hey, check out our starred messages here, or starred files or whatever we have. But any sort of repository is really helpful. But I feel the best way to do this is sit a new person down, even if it is a new person, or if it is somebody who's seasoned, sit them down with somebody who knows exactly what they're doing. Again, when I surveyed my team, I said, what do you feel most comfortable with? So we have that person on our team who is our main go-to person for onboarding, or our main go-to person for XYZ. So we know who these people are. So if we have a new person, or if somebody needs a refresher, hey, go talk to Jim, or go
Right.
talk to Alice. Yeah, one thing I wanted to mention also, a bit ago when we were talking about asking for help, I think a lot of times people are scared to ask for help because it's going to show that they don't know something. And I've always been under the understanding, and I've always practiced, it's okay not to know an answer. It's not okay not to know where to go find it. So being able to say, oh, I don't know, is totally fine. But if you leave it and forget about it, that's where the problem lies. Telling yourself or telling your team or whomever that, again, you're not going to know everything, but what we do expect you to know is where to go find it. So just continue to ask for help.